it up for Ohio State.
You've waited all day for this.
Don't let that team stand in the way. He's going to take it to the house. 85 yards. Down the right side going Devin Smith. Got it at the 5 and into the end zone. Touchdown.
The one show that's nothing but the Buckeyes.
Oh, Graham Rucker for the touchdown. Graham shoots it high on the right for 3.
This is the Buckeye Show.
Indeed, it is the Buckeye Show. I am Tito Jeff Bidoff, filling in for Tim Hall. You heard him on Man and Bone. He'll be on Man and Bone again tomorrow. Got a shorty tonight. A little 30-minute show. Technically, 26:40 that we're looking at probably there. Reimer, thank you. Jacob Reimer, the other side of the glass there, because Bodie, what's Bodie? Was Bodie on Morning Juice today? Is that where he was?
Yeah, he was on Morning Juice this morning.
Everything just, they say that whatever expletive you want to use rolls downhill, and so it comes downhill now. It's me and Reimer here on a shorty on a Buckeye Show on a Thursday. But March Madness going on.
Just had our first upset go final. Got really close at the end, too.
It was an upset indeed, with McNeese State beating Clemson. Yes, and Reimer said it in the update there. He apologized if you had Clemson going far, and I know some people had him in a survivor pool I'm in where they took Clemson, and they are eliminated. Anyway, let's do this, though, because let's have some positive news. Let's go out to the Bryant Heating Cooling System fan guest hotline. We are joined right now by Ohio State women's basketball head coach Kevin McGuff. Of course, tomorrow at 5:30, I guess when it will be, the Ohio State Buckeyes will be taking on Montana State. Coach, thank you for taking the time. I know you had practice earlier today, and I'm curious, what does that practice look like for you? Because I'm not sure at Montana State what you're specifically looking at matchup-wise, but you also can't obviously wear the team out with too much of a hard of a practice. But what did today's practice look like for you?
Yeah, no, kind of a normal day before game practice. We got up and down. We always do that there the day before a game and focused in on, kind of some of the things that they do offensively and how we're going to, game plan to guard that. And then also they have a very unique style defensively. They press a little bit. They switch everything. And so we had to take some time to go against that. And I think a good practice today. Hopefully it's got us ready for tomorrow's game. So
Montana State's in the Big Sky. It's not one of the power conferences, but nonetheless, anytime I see a team with a record of 30-3, it's impressive. They went 17-1 in their conference. They lost at Utah by 19. They lost at Oral Roberts by 2. And then their other loss was to Sacramento State when they were at home by 4 points. But, when you've got to watch them against the competition they played against in the film that you watch. What is it about Montana State that impresses you?
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head. They're used to winning. They've won 30 games, and they've won 30 games for a reason. They're a really good team. They've got a great point guard. They've got a really talented post player. They've got a style, kind of like what we've kind of developed a style here that we're comfortable with. They have a style they're very comfortable with. And so they have an identity and they have a way of doing things that usually leads to winning. And so we'll have to be very, very good against a good team tomorrow.
Yeah, Montana State, they're not one of the taller teams you'll face. I think they've got a few people 6'2" and whatnot, but you size-wise, you should match up well with them, correct?
Yeah, they're not one of the tallest teams, but if you look at them, they are from the 5 position, 4, 3, 2, they're kind of long and they're lanky. And so they get their hands on a lot of basketballs and they tip a lot of balls. And that's part of what they do is they're number one in the country in turning people over. So we've got to really make sure we're on point with our press offense and just in general taking care of the ball.
Wait, they're number one in the country in that. That sounds like a Kevin McGuff kind of team.
I know. So it could get real interesting real quick tomorrow at 5:30.
And then how much I'm going to ask this question. I think I already know the answer, though. But I know you take these things one game at a time. Is it difficult, or what do you do as a coach to not look past this team, or for your players look past this team and look towards Tennessee?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a way. We have a way of doing things, and we've always done it this way. Our players are used to doing it this way, and it's easy to try to look ahead and maybe what if if we win and who we might play and all that, but it's just really dangerous to do that. And so we've locked in on Montana State. That's our sole focus right now. We're going to try to have success tomorrow night's game, and then hopefully that happens, and then we'll kind of see where we're at after that.
Kevin McGuff joins us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling System fan guest hotline. The head coach for Ohio State women's basketball team. They got Montana State tomorrow at 5:30. Go out, pack the shot, go out there and watch them play. I'm telling you, this team is fun to watch, and they press the entire game. It's 40 minutes of hell for the other team because of the way McGuff coaches these young ladies up. And when you got someone like Cody McMahon who's been through these pressure type games like this, and you do have a couple of freshmen, obviously younger people you're leaning on a little bit with Cambridge, but how important is it to have experience like you had the last couple of years with someone like Cody?
Yeah, no, we'll lean on Cody quite a bit tomorrow. She's been in these games and been in these situations. Obviously, we're hoping Jelani brings her A game, because when she does that, we're a different team. But I also think it's people like Taylor Theory, Madison Green, Ebony Walker, those young women who have also been in these games. Hopefully they can step up and really help us have a good day tomorrow.
And when you look at that, some of the experience, like you mentioned, those players and some of the experience they've had also in playing games that are significant in the month of March. How important is that experience for people like that? You got people that have been through the ringer with you before.
Yeah, it's important. And I think the thing about it is, it's win or go home, and kind of what that points toward is like, just rely on our execution, rely on our preparation, rely on each other. And they've had to do that before. So, we'll lean on them to make sure the whole team kind of understands that concept. What
was it like on Sunday when, I watched the bracket show also. You guys watch at the same time. I know that. And so you're watching it though. And it was at the very end, like the end of part of the bracket when we finally saw where you guys were seated. What was that evening like for you and for the team?
Well, it was obviously a lot of fun. We got together and we were able to do it together, but it was a little nerve-wracking because we were hopeful that we would obviously have a chance to play at home, and then you get through the first couple brackets, and Maryland was a team like us, kind of on the bubble in terms of hosting, and then they get a home game. It's like, whoa, does that mean we don't? And so, but when we popped up as a 4 seed and playing at home in Columbus, we were very excited.
And again, not looking forward to it. I'm not looking past, I should say, Montana State, but having a traditional powerhouse like Tennessee playing in the building also. And I know what could happen if you and Tennessee both take care of business. I get that. But I'm just in general, though, having someone like Tennessee, a school like Tennessee there, that's got to be exciting for you.
Yeah, I think if you look at the whole bracket, there's 4 really good teams here. Montana State's won 30 games. South Florida's a perennial NCAA team. Obviously Tennessee's had a great season and they've got great tradition. So I think it's a really exciting 4 teams here. And so hopefully people will come out and check out these games. I think they're going to be awesome to watch. Okay, so when I saw the schedule, the timing of it, I wasn't sure if you guys would be the first game or the second game. I saw you guys are the first game of the 2. Was that surprising to you? And do you have a preference if you're playing the first or second game? I like to play the first game. I like to get out there and just lock in, get on the court, get going, and see what we're going to do. So I was excited to play the first game, and so now we got to show up and take care of business. Okay, I'll get you out of this one now. What do you have to do well tomorrow night against Montana State to come away with a victory? 1, take care of the ball and limit our turnovers, and then conversely, turn them over and take those turnovers and convert them into points. Okay, I lied. I got one more question for you. I remember back in the old NFL days, Bill Walsh used to script like the first 20 plays. Like, these are the plays we're going to run as a 49ers offense. As a coach, how much do you script ahead of time when you're going to make substitutions? Or is it just completely on the fly based on what's happening? No, we usually have a kind of a scripted plan, and then we adjust based on how the game is going, foul trouble, and things of that nature. All right. Get a win, Kevin, okay? All right. Sounds good. Thanks, Tito. Thanks, Kevin. Talk to you soon. All right. Kevin McGuff joined us there on the Bryant Heating and Cooling System Fan Guest Hotline. Jacob, have you been out there for a game live when the women play?
I have not, no.
Okay, that's disrespectful. And I'm going to tell you why. Look, they are so much fun to watch. And I often say it. With Nolan Richardson in Arkansas, they used to do 40 minutes of hell. You don't know. You're young. God, you don't know that. I'm sure your grandfather told you about Nolan Richardson. That's right.
I know that. Come on now.
All right, I'm saying 40 minutes. Like, Ohio State presses the entire game, and they create so many turnovers, and they are so much fun to watch. And they've got a lot of talent there. And I'm telling you, Cody McMahon, you don't realize how physical she is until you watch her in person. She hits the floor 10 to 80 times a game.
Do you like their draw that they got with potentially getting Tennessee if they get past this one?
What I like about it is it gives Ohio State an opportunity to get a really big win. It's like ideally I want to see Ohio State win 2 and then see what happens after that. Like, perfectly, yes. In a perfect world, it's like, just give me 2 games they can win easily and move on. But a win against Tennessee would be a signature win for them. Yeah. Last year was tough. They lost to Duke as a 7 seed. Duke was 7. Ohio State was a 2. Lost in the second round here in Columbus. I'm so glad they got this chance to host, but I'm excited. I hope they can get the win tomorrow, which they should, and they get a chance to beat Tennessee.
Yeah, I mean, Tennessee's looking just at women's basketball. They're a blue blood of women's basketball.
Yeah.
That is a massive win if they can go on and get through that.
Yep, I agree. All right, coming up next, we update what's going on right now in the college basketball world. March Madness is upon us. And Reimer and I, neither one of us really working. We're just watching basketball. But we'll talk to you about that next. This is the Buckeye Show, 97.1 The Fan.
Whatever you're doing right now, just know that Bo Bishop is enjoying a sip of bourbon. Even if this promo is playing in the morning, no judgment.
Ah, sweet morning drinking.
The Fan.
At Meijer, we work hard to bring more of the good life to your life, so you can bring home more perfectly plump and flavorful produce picked for precise freshness, beautifully marbled beyond brag-worthy certified Angus beef, and more must-have money-saving M-Perks rewards. Because saving more on local favorites is good, but bringing home more of what you love in every trip, that's the good life. We do more to make life a good deal better at Meijer.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Hit a home run for happy hour and ask your Twin Peaks girl about local specials on drafts, cocktails, shots, and more.
Buckeye Nation, join us on April 13th at the 2025 Ohio State Four-Mother, presented by Union Home Mortgage, the Ohio Beef Council, and Raising Cane's. This is your chance to run down the tunnel and finish on the 50-yard line at Ohio Stadium. A portion of the proceeds benefit the Buckeye Cruise for Cancer. This is something you won't want to miss. Register today at ohiostatefourmiler.com. Go Bucks!
Health insurance companies are expected to carry health benefits, but CareSource does so much more. We look beyond doctors' offices and hospitals to see the challenges that face our members. Then we help them achieve not just better health, but better lives. Along with great benefits, we also help our members find stable jobs, housing, childcare, and rides so they can find greater independence. At CareSource, we're removing barriers. We're improving lives. We're reimagining healthcare.
Imagine yourself in a new Toyota. Now through March 31st, get 2.99 APR financing or up to $3,000 customer cash on a powerful new 25 Tundra. Depending on model, excludes TRD Pro. Or lease a 25 Tundra SR Crew Max for $449 a month for 36 months with $39.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS. Tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Hey, Ohio State fan, are you ready for game day? Get hyped and get your crew going with the Buckeye Meal at BK. For $20, you'll get 1 juicy flame grilled Whopper sandwich, 1 original chicken sandwich, 2 mouthwatering cheeseburgers, 3 crispy golden small fries, and 3 refreshing small drinks. Grab your $20 Buckeye Meal today and share the taste of victory. At BK, have it your way. You rule. Limited time only at participating Ohio area restaurants. Tax extra. BK is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
The Fan app is about to become your new best friend. Your one-stop shop for all your favorite fan shows. ESPN Columbus and BetQL. Live or on demand, listen on your schedule. Download the 97.1 The Fan app today. It's free. Do it.
Looking for a very special way to commemorate the 9th National Championship in Ohio State football history? Then check out the beautiful Ohio State timepieces at OxiaTime.com. Oxia has created a series of heirloom quality designs to celebrate the Buckeyes, including the limited edition Ryan Day autograph box sets. Equally impressive to the quality of their products is the quality of the people behind these watches. Go to OxiaTime.com to learn more on their backstory and claim your piece of Ohio State history. That's AXIATime.com.
Add some spice to your pizza night with Donato's new Smoky Hot Honey Pizza and Smoky Hot Honey Chicken Sub. bringing hardwood smoked bacon, wood-fired chipotle seasoning, and Mike's Hot Honey together for savory, smoky, sweet heat perfection. Now get $4 off a large smoky hot honey pizza using promo code SMOKY. More toppings, more flavor, more fun. Donato's. Gotta love more.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
A rather gloomy finish on this first day of spring. Temperatures in the low 40s, windy with cloudy skies. Scattered rain showers and a couple of snowflakes possible by this evening. Overnight will fall down to the mid-20s with clearing skies and light winds. And a much better Friday on the way. A nice end of the week. Plenty of sunshine, light winds, and temperatures back in the low 50s. With your 10 weather impact forecast, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jerry Martz on The Fan.
Stickers on helmets make us happy. This is the Buckeye Show.
It's the Buckeye Show. Yes, it is. I'm Tito. Timmy did Man and Bones show earlier today. He will do it again tomorrow. I will be back tomorrow night for another half-hour Shorty. Jackets taking on Florida tonight. Our coverage starts there at 6:30. Puck drop at 7 o'clock. Jacob Reimer on the other side of glass. And Reimer and I both. This is one of the greatest sports days of the year, having the first round of March Madness. And I don't like talking too much about Tim on this show because it's his show and all that. But, Tim, I don't know if you know this or not, Ryan, you haven't been around that long here. But Tim always, like, the best day for Tim is like the day before vacation. That's like his best day. And then once vacation starts, each day is worse for him. So the reason I bring that up is because as much as I love today, I was talking to my 8-year-old son, Artie, about this. And I said, you know what? By Sunday night, when you go to bed, Artie, there'll only be 16 teams left. Which, look, I love today. I love this weekend. But it's kind of depressing to think we'll be down to 16 teams by Sunday.
Yeah. And by next Saturday, we'll have 8 teams left.
Yeah.
It goes by quick.
When we're on the air Sunday, we'll be down to 24, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the part that, as much fun as this is, and trust me, it's fun, and I love it. But it does go by really fast. So Wisconsin got a win today. Big Ten represented well there. Purdue gets a win as well. It's the SEC got all those teams in, and I get all that. That's great. SEC got, 14 teams in. And I don't know how to define success for the SEC in this, or for the Big Ten in that, for that matter. But the fact that the Big Ten is unscathed so far, I know a lot of people think that UC San Diego is going to give Michigan all kinds of problems here coming up at 10 o'clock tonight. But the fact Wisconsin, handled Montana 85-66, Purdue 175-63. For the Big Ten to be a success, I think they've got to have one Final Four team.
I like that because we're so used to, like, the past few years, it's always been like the narrative has been the Big Ten is the deepest or it's the best conference. Mm-hmm. And now that has switched to the SEC. But during those times of the Big Ten on their runs, they were only getting like 2, maybe 3 teams to just the second weekend.
Right.
And I feel like we could see that with the SEC this year with the bottom half that got in.
Yeah.
Aside from the top with Bama and Florida and Auburn and Tennessee, but like those teams that are like in the middle of the pack, I feel like we could see that with those schools this year.
And that's what I'm thinking about. Like for the SEC, like what's going to be success for them? You know what I mean? Like what's success for the SEC? And 2 Final Four teams probably, right? With how much they got in there?
Yeah, I think so. If they only end up with 1, because I mean the 1 seeds this year in general, not including like Alabama and Tennessee with them being 2 seeds, but Auburn and Florida, like they are historically 2 of the greatest teams we've seen based off of net rating. Like coming into this tournament, there was 4 teams with a plus 35 net rating or higher, and that had only happened 4 times before this year. So it's very impressive. Like any other year, like these teams would be the clear favorite.
And I am not. Look, I know that the Creighton-Louisville game is not an update. Okay? It's not. I'm sorry, not upset. I'm not upset. Creighton-Louisville's not an upset. What's the upset, though, is how easily Creighton did it. An 8-9 game, And I thought Louisville would win the game. I thought it would be an up-and-down, high-scoring game, which it was.
in Louisville's backyard, too.
Right, in Lexington right now.
Yeah.
And a lot of people thought Louisville should have been a 5 or a 6 seed instead of an 8. But the way Creighton dominated them is the upset to me. Not the fact they won, but the way they took care of Louisville and kept them out of the game like that. And Louisville missed shot after shot after shot. They took poor shots and all of that. So good for Creighton on that win. I don't like Greg McDermott, but good for Creighton to get that victory, though. But I thought that the only real big upset right now is McNeese over Clemson. They won by 2 points, but the game was not even that close if you looked at how they played those games. No other upsets really yet in today's NCAA action. Gonzaga's taking care of Georgia right now by 24 points. Gonzaga was up like 25-3 at one.
Yeah, sorry, Nicole. They were Nicole Sharon's from Georgia.
Oh,
they got up 27-3.
27-3.
Did not look good.
Does not look good. It's not good. Gonzaga's going to lose.
We're going to have an Elite Eight type matchup on Saturday between them and Houston.
I think so too. Yes.
I mean, they're 2 top 10 KenPom teams, which is crazy that Gonzaga is an 8 seed based off of the metrics.
After I watched some of the games today, and I watched what Creighton did, I watched what McNeese did, I watched what Gonzaga did, I honestly had a feeling for a moment, Jacob, that I'm okay with Ohio State not being in this because it might hurt more. If they would have gone to the tournament and gotten blown out.
Yeah.
Because there's some, we've only watched some of the games today, and there's still a lot of great teams to play. Florida's still got to play, obviously. Duke. There's a lot of great teams that I think Ohio State would have no business being on the floor with them.
I agree, and I'm just going to throw out another one because we've seen them play already. Mm-hmm. I don't want to be jinxing it potentially, but I mean the way North Carolina looked in the play-in, a team that Ohio State had a case against on getting into the tournament.
North Carolina to me, fine. It's a Buckeye show. Okay. Look, I like Ohio State. I love Ohio State. I love Jake Diebler, and I love where the program's going. But I'm telling you right now, that North Carolina team in the play-in game, that's a different kind of basketball we see Ohio State play this year.
Yeah.
It just is.
100%.
It just is. And that's the part that's hard to admit, but it is.
San Diego State was a team that beat Houston earlier this year.
Right.
They beat Creighton this year.
I don't know what my expectations would be for. I told you before, my expectations, what I think is the baseline is make the NCAA tournament every year. Make the tournament every single year. Whatever happens after that, it's fine. But make the tournament every year. But just watching some of the games today, watching some of the conference tournament games in other conferences, I think the committee made the right, I'm not saying they made the right decision with the 68 they have, but I think they made the right decision not including Ohio State in the 68.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't know if they would have beat Texas or Xavier in that other play, because that's where they would have been. They would have been in Dayton playing in that play-in game.
Right, one of those games, yep.
And, they would have been the last team in, most likely, if they were to get in, having to play a Texas or a San Diego State. They already beat Texas. But the way both teams were looking coming into this, it's completely different from November 4th.
It is going to be fascinating for me to see what happens with Ohio State's roster over the next, look, it's...
Austin Parks is already in the portal.
Parks is already gone.
That's one thing I hate, that the portal's already open. Why can't we wait till after the national championship?
Yeah, it's going to open up before the college basketball crown.
Before we even get to the Final Four, there easily could be maybe 3 guys on this Ohio State roster coming back.
And I wonder about, I would love to know what the conversation is like with Aaron Bradshaw.
Yeah. It's an interesting one.
Can Ohio State, would they say, you're not welcome back? You know what I mean? Maybe they. I don't know what how the protocol is on that, and with the contracts that are signed, NIL money.
Yeah.
But Aaron Bradshaw could very easily say to Ohio State, "Go to hell. I'm going somewhere else."
Mm-hmm.
So I think Ohio State should be able to say the same thing to him.
I don't know if they would say it in that exact way.
Right.
But they may give him just a little nudge. Like with a plan that they have next season, what they're already looking at in the transfer portal, what they're looking at with what his minutes could be, and kind of just hinting at we're kind of pushing you out here.
Yeah. It feels to me a lot like, and I don't have insider knowledge on this. It feels to me a lot like it'd be the same conversation they may have had with Kyle McCord on the football side.
That's a great comparison.
Like, if you want to stay, you can stay. You're not going to make the same NIL because we're not going to pay whatever the number was. Whatever it was. And I've heard rumors of what it was. Whatever the number was, you got to do better than 2 rebounds a game if you're 7 foot tall.
Exactly.
It's like, so and maybe they say, you know what? Sure, you can stay if you want to. By the way, your NIL is going to be this. And by the way, we're going to bring in another big guy. Kid from Iowa or whatever. Someone's going to come here and start and get a double-double, and you will be a bench guy who will come in, and that would make him. And look, I've been in the corporate world before. We always talked about it. Like, was someone pushed or did they jump? Kyle McCord, I feel, got pushed. If I'm Ohio State, I'm pushing Aaron Bradshaw as well. I expected a hell of a lot more from him this season to be that tall and to like I've said it before, allergic to paint. Can't be in the middle there. Anyway, look, let's have a fun night. Let's get a Jackets win over the Panthers. That's coming up next. So make sure you stick around for that. Jackets in this playoff push. They've got guys that are coming back from injury, not yet, but guys that are close to coming back from injury play a big role on this team as they make their postseason push. We also have Ohio State women's basketball tomorrow night. That game starts at 5:30. Go out there, pack the shot, stuff the shot, whatever you want to call it. Go out there and watch this team play. They're taking on Montana State. And then the game right after that, Tennessee is in action. Another fun one to watch. Reimer, thank you for your time. Thank you to Kevin McGuff. Stick around. Jackets time next.
Welcome to Tire Discounters.
Thanks. I gotta warn you, I drive a hard bargain.
Okay.
So let's hear your first offer.
Well, how about with any 4-tire purchase, we'll give you a free alignment.
Man, I'm good. All right, let's do it before you change your mind.
And we'll also give you a free oil change.
Ha! I can't believe I talked you into this deal. Sometimes I amaze even myself.
Don't tell accounting. But with any 4-tire purchase at Tire Discounters, you get a free alignment and a free full synthetic oil change. See store for details.
Everybody poops, everybody pees. Mommy, will you call Mr. Rooter, please? 'Cause I gotta poop and I gotta pee. Only Mr. Rooter can clear the drain for me. Thank you, Mr. Rooter.
Hi, everybody. We call it what it is at Mr. Rooter. When you have a plumbing or drain problem, the team at Mr. Rooter is ready 7 days a week. Call us today and take advantage of our $95 drain cleaning special. Visit us at Mr. Rooter.